issue. If he got more roaches on the field without proper force fields, those could try and get in close to the...
But here comes Pong Pong. There's nice wall off by Puzzle. Going to be really just force him away. Now Puzzle did notice that this fourth hatchery did go down at the bottom right, but he can't really move out of his base at the moment. That one Void Ray might be able to eventually make it over, but he needs it to defend here. And Pong Pong taking out the rocks so he doesn't get choked as he goes up that ramp. Nice choice. Especially with that Colossus there.
A lot of roaches reinforcing. That will actually...
Oh, but actually, Pong Pong's going to go for it.
Yeah, this is actually very questionable tactic now before all these roaches get here. He's taking some pretty heavy losses. Those Hydras took some damage as well, but this one Colossus just...
Why did you not run home?
Straight in there. I have no idea what that Colossus was doing, and now with the reinforcing roaches coming in and the Phoenix is completely out of position, it looks like he's getting forced back. That Colossus almost went down. But these Phoenixes really need to get back here and start lifting off some Hydras.
Yeah, he is still coming forward. He's going to lose the Cybercore. That is really bad for Puzzle right now. He really needs the Stalker count to help deal with this. Void Ray goes down, got a little bit too close, but in comes Puzzle's Phoenixes. They are going to pick up a lot of these Hydras, probably able to take most of them, if not all of them, out, as the rest of the roaches are being cleaned up for these two Colossi sitting behind the wall in here. And this is actually going to be quite nice for Puzzle. He's still down 20 supply.
Mismicroed that a little bit. He actually accidentally lifted up a Hydra with every Phoenix. At first he was trying to leave about half of them still shooting at the Hydras to take them out, but he accidentally lifted up too many Hydralisks, so none of the Phoenixes were firing. He took some heavy damage. There's only 3 Phoenixes left, and that was pretty crucial in trying to hold that off. Now we just got streaming roaches coming through the center of the map. He's got a lot of Zealots and 2 Colossus here, but if Pong Pong keeps reinforcing this could be trouble.
Well, there's going to be 9 Corruptors on the field very shortly. We don't have an infestation pit, so we won't be seeing Hive all that soon. Phoenixes are trying to still see what the drone count is down here at the bottom right-hand base. Take out a couple if you can. There's one Hydra saying hi to the warp gate over here. He's by himself, but he's actually, oh my god, Puzzle moved all of his units to go and deal with that as the Roach is coming to the natural. Does pick up one sentry, loses a Roach before he backs off. This Hydra's are still here.
Lifts off one Roach, and the Phoenix is actually going to get taken out for it. Oh my god, I have no idea why he lifted off that Roach. And the Roach is just like, what? I lost 5 health. I don't understand why he did that.
Yeah.
And these Hydras are still over here. Finally, he's going to lift them off.
Is he going to lose the Phoenix?
Oh, the Phoenix almost died!
Oh my god, those 2 Hydras being so frustrating.
Phoenixes here, like, cause he's down to 1. He had so many Phoenixes. Imagine if he still had even half of those alive at this point. This army would be really scary.
Oh, there's the infestation pit going down now. We'll most likely see Pong Pong go to Hive just to go into the Broodlords after this, because he's got so many Corruptors, he can't really afford to engage and lose an engagement without something to do with the Corruptors in the leg. And we've seen it so often, but here he comes, straight into a Concave. I'm not sure if this is the best idea. His Corruptors will take down the Colossus quite nicely, but he's going to lose a lot of them in the process. There's still 2 Colossus up, 1 goes down, final one will go down as well, and here come the Roaches and Hydra reinforcements, but there's a lot of Stalkers here, Railtoon, and there's way too many Corruptors for this to be a good thing for Pong Pong. Nice blink control by Puzzle. The Hydra's really helping out a hand, but it's just not going to be enough. There's way too many Stalkers. He's
just taking out as many Stalkers as he can. Yeah, he's getting... if you look at this, he's trading quite nicely until these Zealots got warped in.
Well, he can't get away.
Trading relatively even. And yeah, he couldn't get away because of the Hydras, so he was just staying there fighting. It was a pretty good engagement for him. Now he kept a decent number of those Corruptors alive. His Hive is on the way. He's replenishing that entire force. And now there's not many Stalkers left. The Colossus are down. Puzzle's army is in a really bad shape right now, and he's down 80 supply, and there's going to be Broodlords out soon, so things are looking pretty scary for Puzzle right now.
Hive halfway done, of course, getting +1 flyer attacks on that Spire. And Puzzle's been on the back foot this entire game. He hasn't really been able to win an engagement decisively just yet and force Pong Pong to be on the back foot. And Pong Pong is actually now completely maxed out. Oh, and as I said that, he drops like 4 Spore Crawlers to go under. But he's actually going to go into this one yet again. There's still Corruptors here. There's no Colossus at all. Blinking back, he's actually going to lose quite a few of them. But there's just way too much stuff here for Pong Pong. He's just chasing down the Stalkers. They will be able to get away because of Blink, but he's not going to be able to defend this extra base that he really wants to have at the moment. He didn't cancel that, he lost it.
Yeah, there's one Colossus out, but he's out away from all of his friends. Actually, very lucky that the Corruptors didn't poke in farther there. He needs to try and keep this Colossus alive and get the Stalkers in here to support it. but the Corruptors are on the other side. The Stalker's way out of position, not able to help that Colossus, so it does go down. Now this Roach Hydra mass is just pounding these Stalkers. He's blinking quite nicely, but the Hydras in the back just put out so much DPS that you can't blink micro fast enough. You can see a lot of them going down. Another Colossus will pop out, but at this point he's just freeing up supply for the Broodlords, so it's not a big issue.
Yeah, and oh, he's actually going to lose this Colossus too. Pong Pong all over Puzzle in this first game here. Ooh.
He's blinking down, trying to actually chase down these Corruptors to limit the number of Broodlords that can come out. He actually got a decent number of them, but there's still 5 of them alive. The Greater Spire's almost done, and there's just more and more Roaches and Hydralisks streaming out onto the field. It's going to be a huge army. It's actually surprising that he hasn't invested in the Infestor energy upgrade, because just in case Puzzle, by some miracle, figured out some way to keep, like, in this game in the long term, Infestors really would be a good way to drive the nail into the coffin here, but seems like he just wants to go for Roach Hydra Broodlord and just kill him.
Puzzle's army supply has never really gotten above 150, and every time it gets close to that, Pong Pong's just like, I'm going to throw everything I have at you. Now, we do see that Greater Spire just finished up. Just then, are we going to see? There we go, 5 Broodlords on the way. He's right on top of that watchtower, in range of Puzzle, and Puzzle cannot feel good right now. He does not have any Colossus to back this up. He's mixed in an Immortal, got a second one coming out as well, but that is not what he needs right now.
Yeah, and he's also going to have a hard time dealing with these Broodlords. He has no Void Rays on the field. He has a double Stargate, so, you know, he's thinking about it, but he just can't afford that gas to be throwing into Void Rays right now, because he's been kept to this 3rd base for so long. He hasn't been able to get his 4th. Pong Pong's on his 5th in the middle of the map right now. Now the Broodlords are done. They're going to start shelling with the Broodlings, and this is just the beginning of the end for Puzzle, it seems.
Both players had their ground forces at 2-2 upgrades, but these Broodlords are really going to make a difference. And Puzzle's trying to get a good concave. Here comes Pong Pong for the final engagement. Okay, force fields keeping those Hydras out of the fray for a little bit of time, but the Broodlings really showing how frustrating they are for Protoss players. Like, they don't want to target the Broodlings, you want to kill the Roaches, and sometimes it's very difficult to have that happen, and the Hydra's just tearing through everything now. The Roaches are dropping quite quickly due to all of the Immortals, and there's the Blink on top, but just way too much stuff here for Pong Pong. He's got 23 Roaches in production. There's the GG, and Pong Pong will take down game number 1 in this best of 3 for the first round of the FXOpen Invitational Series. Well done to him there, and I do really like the fact that he got a little bit lucky with the opening there, but he still just kept keeping Puzzle's unit count very, very low. He kept throwing all his units at him and really countered it quite well. Didn't let that Colossus count get so high that it shredded through his army in one stroke. But let's see if Puzzle can come back in game 2, shall we, Ralkun?
Yeah.
Hi, we are FXO team. You are watching FXO TV.
And welcome back, everyone. Game number 2 between Pung Pung Prime and Slayer's Puzzle. Of course, I can't fit the whole name of Pung Pung in the overlay, otherwise it just makes it look everything silly. But we'll forgive him for that, as he is our Blueser again here at the bottom left-hand corner of the dual site. I am Unstable, joined here by Railcoon for this one, and of course on the right-hand side we have Slayer's Puzzle. Now, Puzzle lost first game. He was very passive at the beginning. And a nice little trick by Pung Pung to get his hatchery down as well. Really just snowballed into the fact that Pung Pung had such a strong economy that he could just kept throwing units at Puzzle, and just Puzzle couldn't keep up. His Colossi numbers were kept really far down. So let's see if Pung Pung can do the same thing again this time. This is, of course, Puzzle's map choice, being dual site. And we'll see how he wants to handle it. What do you think we're going to see from these guys today, Railkin?
I mean, Puzzle's has to recognize that that last game really came down to the fact that he just didn't pressure Pung Pung enough in the early game. He just let him get just a ridiculous number of drones out without ever contending it. His double Stargate came kind of late, so by the time they came out, he was very well prepared, didn't take really much any damage. So I'd expect something more aggressive from him. Maybe that, like, Zealot pressure, maybe just a bunch of Gateway warped in early and just going for early Zealot Sentry or something. I don't know, but I expect him to do something more aggressive here, especially since it's dual site.
Well, that's where he does shine in PvZ, where he's at timing attacks. He has very strong control, as we saw from the last game with his Blink Stalker micro. But there was just way too much stuff, so we'll see where Puzzle wants to go with it. Of course, he's got that Forge first, very standard. Almost getting his Nexus down now, and looks like Pung Pung's gone for the same build. He didn't actually manage to sneak a drone out this time.
Yeah, the probe was actually up in his mineral line so quickly that he was able to watch for any drones coming away. And Pung Pung wasn't even trying to send any, so he just started zapping them a little bit with his probe, like, huh? You gonna go anywhere? Huh? Huh? And this is being really annoying with the probe, like protest players really like to be. So you can see Puzzle setting up a very standard wall off. He's getting the area behind his minerals choked off as well, so no Zerglings can run around behind there. And it has the cannon on the way. So very, very safe wall off from Puzzle at its natural, but just curious to see what he's going to transition to after the Nexus. I would expect to see like a 3-gate of some, starting off with the 3 gates and just warping in units, but he could mix it up and try something else. I have no idea.
Yep, well, Pung Pung of course sees everything that's going on over here with his Overlord, and I think it's going to get shot once by that cannon. Yeah, there we go. Or 3 times, but either way, knows exactly what's going on, knows the timings. This is very important for Pung Pung to know. And his hatchery's down now, so let's see if Puzzle wants to be a little bit more aggressive than the first game. Well, double Stargate is a good opening, but it seemed to just come too late, and he gave away the fact that he had gone for airplay early. Yeah.
He also dropped double Assimilator pretty early here this game, so he might be going for a really aggressive Blink, Dark Templars, something tech-oriented harassment. The Stargate didn't really work out last game, so I wouldn't expect him to do it again. But
I think that's what Pung Pung is feeling too, because he's already got his Roach Warren on the way before his hatchery at the natural is even open.
But yeah, he still hasn't actually warped in any extra gateways, though. So he's just sitting here. Looks like he might be going for something from the Twilight Council. And I'm just waiting to see which way he actually goes. He has no pylons up at his main base, actually. Everything is being built down here at his natural. So he does throw a robotics down up here at the top, so if he does actually wind up going for like an Immortal push early on, that would work out pretty well since Pong Pong is going straight into the Roaches.
Yep. And look at this, 7 Roaches on the way. He wants to try and put some pressure on here. Which would make sense with why that Roach Warren is so early.
Yeah, it did pop out pretty early.
But I don't see this working out too well for him, considering there's already 2 extra cannons. Looking at Puzzle's vision, he hasn't seen it, but it's a good game sense here from him. Especially with that robotics facility, he'll Chrono Boost out an Immortal. As long as he can get the nice force. So look at the placement of these cannons here, Railcoon. There is no weak point in this wall off here.
He's got
Well,
He can hit the forge from below. That's about the only thing.
well, if that's the case, he could simply move his sentries to the high ground.
Yeah.
And here he
But
comes.
I think that's the only building that can actually be hit safely without the cannons being in range.
Nice force field at the top, and he's going to lose one cannon, but these Lings just can't do anything at the moment. Trying to run around, but the pylon is placed perfectly. Roach is coming in for the second cannon. And there's a nice force field again. So Puzzle playing it very calm, not overreacting. Lots more Lings are on the way. He's got his Immortal halfway out to help deal with his Roach. He's losing a couple of probes, trying to rebuild cannons here. And the Lings are actually going to get a surround on the sentry. These extra cannons need to finish soon.
He's blocking it with the probes quite nicely, so that all the Zerglings are going down. There's only 4 Roaches left. And Pong Pong is actually trying to reinforce this. He's going for it. And this Immortal's going to pop out right about now. And if he can get that into range of these Roaches, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Because the Zerglings aren't going to be able to deal with these cannons. You can saw some really nice micro from Puzzle there blocking the cannon from the Zerglings. And once the Roaches go down, then Pong Pong's going to be in a bit of trouble because he doesn't have any drones.
Yeah, he's trying to get this Immortal out there, does get rid of a couple of these Roaches, but he needs to be careful not to get surrounded, like that. Yep, nice positioning there by Puzzle. He's really going to shut this down, and now he's going to be very far ahead. 42 probes to 24 drones. Counterattack and win, buddy. That's all I can really say.
I mean, you need some extra gateways first. Yeah, there we go. Right as I said that, he drops 3 more gateways into his main base, and he's got another Immortal just about to pop out. He's got a lot of cannons, so he can leave a few units at home, maybe warp in a sentry or 2, and then go for a nice counterattack. With that many units, there's no way that Pong Pong has any economy at all. So I would expect a counterattack coming from Puzzle soon, just because it's a golden opportunity. You don't pass that up.
Well, Pong Pong going straight to lair at the moment, with his getting his second, for all of his extra gas geysers. But I think he realizes where he's at the moment. He's 32 drones to 47. Puzzle is getting a lot of. He's got 4 sentries here, getting a lot of energy. His observer is out now to see if anything else is here. But 4 cannons, Pong Pong can't do any more damage. We've got this Twilight Council on the way as well with the extra gateways, and I like how Puzzle isn't just like walking his units across the map instantly. He's just waiting to attack with a normal composition.
Yeah, he's going to need to get some Zealots out here. But he does have a pylon placed over here next to the 3 o'clock base where he can warp down into the middle of the map. Doesn't have a proxy pylon set up anywhere either, which is going to be one of the problematic things. But if he just grabs all these units, actually not warping in any Zealots, adding a few more Stalkers and Sentries, and just sends them straight at the natural of Pong Pong, he's going to be able to do quite a bit of damage. The issue is he's making a ton of Zerglings and there's still no Zealots, so he's going to have some really good force fields here.
Yeah, there's a lot of Roaches up here coming down to try and defend, but with the amount of Immortals that are here, there's 1, 2 Immortals, 3 Immortals in total, and yeah, look, he sees the army and goes, nope, good night, GG. So, Puzzle taking down game 2 of very nicely with some very cool, calm defense. And that Roach Warren that early...
How did he smell that? Like, he saw that coming without scouting it at all. Well, it was actually like really impressive.
These guys have played each other quite a bit on the Korean ladder, so you do get a read on how people try and play things. Also, Pong Pong being 1 up can try and just take advantage of the fact that Puzzle might have been tilting a little bit due to the loss in the last game. So either way, thanks for tuning in, guys. We're going to go into game number 3 in a second. If you want to be in the draw to win a whole heap of different prizes, such as signed FXOpen gear, replay packs of your favorite player, some Razer equipment, and even the grand prize of 10 days in the FXOpen house, food and lodging paid for. Of course, we don't pay for the flight because we don't know where you're from or who the person who wins it will be from. Sub up to the Twitch TV channel just below us to be in the running for that, and we'll be right back with game number 3.
My name is Haksu Kim. You're watching FXO television.
And down to the wire here, it seems, between Puzzle and Pong Pong. We are going to have game number 3, best of 3, of course, between these two guys in the first round of the FXOpen Invitational Series. We are back, of course, after a long hiatus, and if you do want to support the event, feel free to subscribe on Twitch TV down the bottom. $5 USD for the entire month also gets you in the running to win a lot of cool prizes. That being said, we do have Pong Pong at the top as our blue Zerg, and Puzzle down here at the bottom right as our red Protoss. And given the fact that it's the two differences between the games we've seen, Pong Pong being very greedy in game 1, and then of course trying to go for that Roach Bust in game 2, can really lead to a lot of different things happening in game 3 here. What do you think, Railkin?
Well, going for an all-in like that in game number 2 when you win the first one isn't that uncommon. It can mess with your opponent's head sometimes, and if it just winds up giving you a free win, then of course we'll you're in the next round. So I'd expect Pong Pong to go back to a bit more of what we saw in the first game. We are running Antigua. It's a bigger map. He's going to be able to play that macro game a little bit more effectively.
Yeah.
Probably just didn't want to really play a long game on dual sight because, well, it's Puzzle. He chose dual sight. Probably going to try and do a timing attack on you there. So he tried to take it to him there first, and it just didn't work.
Yeah. That happens sometimes. Of course, the psychology of the two players does matter a lot as well. People really overlook the fact of that. And hello!
Oh my god,
now, here's the frustrating part. This is like there's been a lot of different things being said about this type of build, going the hatchery and the natural. And here's why it is beautiful for this map. Where is the cannon going to go? Yeah.
It looks like Puzzle is actually just going to wall off to stop any Zerglings from coming in the front. He is going to have to throw down a cannon back here at the back first, and he hasn't pulled any probes.
Well, here's the point. Because
whoa, okay, that's a few too many probes there. What are you doing, Puzzle? Oh my god.
Well, he doesn't really have a choice here, Elkun, because normally you have two choices, right? Other maps, yes, you can place your cannon, it can still cover your wall off. This one you can't. This is what I was trying to get at before. Putting the cannon behind here does not defend this wall whatsoever. Now, on top of that, the fact that the eggs will come down on the bottom of the hatchery means that the cannon can't actually focus down any of the lings that come out. So he didn't really have any other choice other than to bring this many probes, otherwise the hatchery's going to finish.
It's still overkill. You don't need that many, maybe half that many. You'll still be able to get to the point where the cannon can finish the job.
Well, see, the thing is, those probes were on there for a long time. There's no way he would have gotten it in time to kill before like 4 to 6 lings came out. That extractor going up now is just going to be annoying for Puzzle in case he wants to do something with it. And Pong Pong has his own hatchery back at his main. The only reason this works really well on this map is because of the different distance between the ramp and the natural itself.
And you know it's going to be cross spawns with the GSL version, so you're going to be able to get that every time. And you can see that Pong Pong's actually going straight into a third base as well, because he saw that he forced Puzzle not to pull that many probes off. So he knows that everything's going to be quite a bit delayed, and he's going to just take the chance here and try and get away with this. And honestly, that's a pretty good idea. Puzzle's going to have a hard time pressuring him anytime soon because of that delay with having to pull all those probes off. His Nexus is kind of late, and you can see that he doesn't even have enough minerals to drop a Cybernetics core here once the gateway finished up. So he's just waiting, get his Zealot out first for safety, just in case Pong Pong decided to follow this up with Zerglings, but that's just going to put him farther and farther behind.
Yeah, we do see the Cyber Core going down now. We first Zealot being chrono boosted out. And this probe is trying to see what's going on here, but it's going to be chased down by the Zerglings pretty quickly. The Queen coming out to finish that off as well. Creepy's already started to be spread here. I like the fact that he's got a third Queen already on the way. It looks like he's transferring his second one over, so it'll be there at the right time. And it's going to come down to if Puzzle can find a hole to actually put a lot of damage in there. That's what it's going to come down to. If you can try and damage Pong Pong enough so that his follow-up will actually kill him, he should be fine.
Oh my god. Puzzle's adding a third and fourth gas at his natural while he chops away at the extractor in his main, so he's going to do something very gas-oriented to try and catch Pong Pong off guard while he's droning. I mean, that is a good it's a good read. If he goes for just normal gateway pressure, the chances are it's going to come too late for it to really do much. So he's moving up to 4 simulators. He's going to try something tech-oriented to catch Pong Pong off guard. He's already tried the double Stargate, didn't work out too well. Like you said, he did wind up showing that off a little bit early. So if he wants to try that again and just hide it for a little bit longer, it could work out.
Well, he's got +1 being researched as well.
Like ETs or something like that.
So we got +1. It's going to really be pointless to have double Stargates. Probably just one. Yeah, there's one Stargate. Now, a lot of Zealots coming in with a Void Ray can actually be quite difficult for Zerg to defeat as well, because they want to get their queens up close to try and take out the Void Ray, but they need to keep it back far enough that the Zealots just don't get us around. So, yeah, this is quite nice. We do have 2 Zealots over here in the middle of the map, though, and trying to get away from the Zealots. There's actually enough Zealots to kill these Lings, so I like that Pong Pong isn't engaging there. He's got 12 more drones in production. That's going to put him at 57 drones, and it's going to be starting. So you get to the point where he needs to be careful about what's going to come in from Puzzle.
Yeah, but if you compare this to last game, he's actually much farther ahead in the worker count. I mean, game 1, when this happened previously, he's much farther ahead in the worker count because of that early game hatchery he threw down. He is adding some more gateways now, so I wonder what he's going to do with all this extra gas, because you don't need that much gas for Void Rays, unless he's going to go Void Rays Sentry. Which can actually be pretty brutal if you micro it properly.
Yeah, we're going to have 4 gateways done up here in a second. And we do have a forward pylon over here on the left-hand side, so warping in over here can sometimes work, but it looks like he has been spotted. So
yeah, there is another Void Ray on the way. He hasn't actually seen the Stargates yet.
He hasn't seen the pylon either. He's found the probe, but didn't see the pylon. That's going to be very frustrating for Pong Pong, in case he thinks, ah, that's right, I got it before anything happened. You've got a spine crawler at the front of the base here as well.
He has a ton of gas. I think he's going to go with a pretty heavy sentry composition in here and try and catch him off guard with the Void Rays and the sentries at the same time. If you get those force fields down correctly, then you can really abuse the range on the Void Rays quite nicely. It's actually pretty ridiculous.
This. We do have a pylon at the bottom of the cliff here. He's going to be able to see up that ramp, up to the cliff because of the Void Ray. At the same time, he's taking out the rocks over here. I think we might see an attack in both his main and his third at the very same time.
He needs vision up the cliff. He might use the second Void Ray to get vision up there while he's attacking into the third, but the Void Ray is still... There we go. The Void Ray did just change direction, so he is going to do that unstable. He's going for the 2-pronged attack, moving in with the Zealots and the Void Ray into the third base, and the entire army is over there defending for Pong Pong. The Void Ray arriving up into the main base, warping in 4 Zealots there.
You probably could have waited like a good 10 seconds on that attack on the third to make this more beneficial and keeping the units down there. Either way, he's going to get quite a few drones. He's going to try and get them away here for Pong Pong. But Zealots just absolutely melt drones. They just shred them like no other. And 3 queens. He needs to be careful with that Void Ray. But as I was saying, the Zealots do quite a bit of damage to these. He needs to transfuse that queen. I know you have energy, Pong Pong, just transfuse it!
Actually going to be able to block it with the other queen. Oh, there we go, he's scared into transfusing it just to be safe.
At the same time, he's coming back into the third again. And Puzzle doing what he needs to right now. The Zealots do have +1, of course. They're going to get through those links fairly quickly. But now there's roaches down here with no cover from the Void Ray. This other Void Ray is hurt, it's coming back. Has been cleaned out with a pylon down at the bottom though. And Puzzle needs to be careful.
He's got to be careful. This queen is actually going to die because that Void Ray is most of the way charged. Yeah, there we go. So he's only sent the 1 queen after it. The Void Ray wins that fight. There we go. And he's going to be forcing some Spore Crawlers. And the Void Ray flying back into the main base, going to get chased away by the 2 queens. And Puzzle's backing this up with Immortals now, actually.
Yeah.
He's actually warped in a lot of these sentries like I was expecting. He's got 9 sentries on the field and still has a ton of gas. So this is going to be a really ridiculous follow-up from Puzzle. He's switching over into Sentry Immortal. He can throw in a bunch of Zealots into that composition, and, well, he's forced Roaches and Hydras from Pong Pong, so this is actually going to be really unexpected, and it could do a ton of damage.
Considering he still has these Void Rays alive, one of them barely, that being said. He did kill 13 workers during all of this, but the main point is he's forced Pong Pong into a composition that is going to be very difficult for him to defend with, especially with this many sentries. He's got 10 sentries.
That's a lot of sentries.
The Void Rays and the Immortals. Looks like he's going to go over to the third base. If he's not careful, he could actually force field the ramp on both ends And
oh my
just
god, he's
completely
warping in even more sentries. There's 13 sentries right now.
And look at
With
this,
two
Pong Pong's
Void Rays,
army
two
is on the
Abortals.
other side of the map, and there's Hydras there too. He's not going to get back anywhere near in time.
Oh my god, that army is disgusting for what he forced Pong Pong to build. Like, there's no way Pong Pong can fight this. You can see the force fields going down, chopping this army in half.
Void Ray's targeting Hydras.
He's setting up the donuts around the units. Oh my god.
Yeah, this doesn't look good. More reinforcements coming in here for Puzzle as well. He's actually still 40 supply down, but the unit composition is just too good here.
Yeah, I mean, the supply there was, a lot of that was workers as well for quite a while.
Yeah.
And
Oh, goodbye workers.
he's actually starting to take that out. Nice force fields to trap the drones in here. You can see the roaches and the hydras trying desperately to do some damage from the low ground, but its hatchery and all the drones are going to die.
Yeah.
And you can see he's positioning these immortals very nicely, keeping them out of the line of fire. They're pounding into these roaches. There's just not much that Pong
Only
Pong
using
can-
one Guardian Shield to cover the entire army too to save that energy. Very, very smart here by Puzzle, and I think that's going to be it very shortly. He's now ahead in supply, even though he was down on supply before, still took it out. It's completely cleaning this up, and Pong Pong tried to expand in the middle during all of this, but there's just way too many reinforcements coming in here for Puzzle now.
Yeah, that tech switch just caught Pong Pong completely off guard. He wasn't expecting that at all. And it comes down to him getting those extra extractors early on. It seems like that was planned from the beginning, because he had all of that gas stockpiled to warp in those sentries and switch immediately. It's a very impressive play there for Puzzle.
Yeah, so he will move on into the upper bracket. Round 2, of course, Pong Pong dropping to the lower bracket. He can still make his way back. It's quite a lot of games, but he can still do it. We will be right back with our next set. Stay with us.
Hi, my name is Hyung-Sum Lee. Startup ID Choya. You are watching FXOpen television.
And here we go, Slayers Ryung against OGS Nada, our next match for the upper bracket round 1 here for the FXOpen Invitational Series. Now remember guys, if you do want to support the tournament and the players in this, as well as win some great prizes as well, you can subscribe to the Twitch TV channel down there below. It's $5 for the entire season. You will be in the draw for signed FXO jackets by the players. You can win replays, specific matchups of your choice from, say, you want ZVT replays from Lenok, getting the chance to win that. And of course, there will be no ads at all. So, as we get that over with, the shameless plugging, let's get into it. I am Unstable, joined here by Railcoon. We're going to have a TVT. And of course, as I was joking earlier, we just cheated and put all the TVTs in the first round so we can get them over and done with.
Stop saying that. People are going to believe you.
And of course, Slayer's Ryung down here at the bottom right-hand corner as our blue Terran, who is actually proxying a barracks over here just below Nada's natural. That being said, Nada is actually going for a scout. Going to completely miss this though. The fact that he's scanning a scout fairly early in compared to the scouting times in TVT these days is actually going to give him a little bit of a heads up that this is happening. The barracks are actually finishing at roughly the same time. So let's hope that Nada doesn't actually go for any kind of extra, doesn't actually stop marine production at any point. We do see, of course, a refinery down for Ryung. Is he going to put a tech lab on this?
Yeah, that's what it looks like he's planning on doing, but we are on Antigua, and it is forced cross positions on the GSL version. So Nada is able to get straight across there. He's going to get up here, see no barracks, be like, wait, what? And if he was thinking about going for a gasless expansion, this is what he looked like. He's going to, well, he's going to keep those Marines going before that happens. So we see that Ryung is actually going for that tech lab. Yeah. By the fact that he just got scouted, I don't know what he's going to do with this now. He's actually going to go for the Marauder, but if Nada can get a decent number of Marines out, then this will be a slight problem for him, especially if he drops a bunker just to be safe. But he still hasn't scouted this out, and the first Marine is actually leaving.
Well, that first Marine coming down here, Nada looks like...
Second Marine leaving now too. It looks like he's actually trying to get some units out here, sneak into Ryung's base and hit his mineral line while he's proxying him. But that's pretty confident. He doesn't have a bunker down. He has nothing to defend against this Marauder right now is the problem.
Well, it is going to take quite a while for him to get into the base, to be honest, because he can always pull some SCVs. He's actually expanding behind this. And he's actually bringing his Marines back home. So Ryung is going to be pretty weary, the second Marauder there. And here come the SCVs, and the Marines coming from behind as well. You can get a good surround on that. Look at that target firing on those Marines. Nicely done by Ryung. Still forcing a lot of mining time to be pulled back here. The problem is the Marauders have just so much health, they're being very frustrating for
all the Marines are down now. It's like, it's difficult for you to hold that off with just a couple Marines.
Oh, nice vision by the SCV, giving him a chance to take out that Marine. And
yeah, so he's. I'm surprised he didn't try to get this bunker up sooner. If he had a bunker, then it would have been completely stopped dead in its tracks. You can see that he is holding this off. He's losing a lot of SCVs in the process. He does have that command center almost done, so it will help him recover, but it's still going to be a problem. Bunker just now finally finishing, but he has no Marines to load into it currently.
Well, there's one there.
Where is it? I see there's one. Okay, there it is. It just got into the bunker. And now, Ryung is going to lift up the barracks, use it for some vision, and might be able to try and pick away at one of these supply depots from the low ground.
That's exactly what he's doing here, Railcoon, and he's also expanding at the same time, getting a factory in his main. And it looks like Nada is actually going to push him away here, bringing more SCVs. He's going to lose a couple of them, but unless Ryung does some really nice target firing on those Marines, he's going to be forced completely home, and he's also going to be forced to bring that barracks home as well. And it looks like he's actually going straight into a starport.
Yeah, that's interesting. He does have that command center down pretty quickly. And you see that Nada's orbital command is just sitting up in his main, not really able to do much. Because these Marauders are still just camping down here. It looks like this one is going to finally go down. So he had one shot left. But Ryung is trying to get this supply depot of Nada's. But Nada has repeatedly come forward to repair it. He's not letting him get that down. He has a little bit of extra supply as well from that command center. It's to the point where even if it had gotten killed, he would have been supply blocked. But it's a nice job there by Ryung trying to get that supply depot just to be annoying. Yeah. And he kept forcing to have to pull SCVs off. He lost more SCVs. Look at it's 9 workers killed at this point, which is a pretty good amount for a Marauder rush like that.
He's also going to have his expansion up and running before Nada, even if he picks it up right now, moves it across. He's going to follow this up with a Cloaked Banshee. Given the fact that there's 3 barracks here, he should have enough Marines to drive it off, but the downside is he's not going to have STEM. Tech Lab only just starting now. He's got an engineering bay on the way. Let's have a look at his vision. He scanned earlier and did see everything. So that would be why the engineering bay is going down, Railcoon.
Yeah, and we see that Ryung is also getting the Blue Flame Hellion upgrade. So he's going the same route that we saw SCC go earlier, where he goes for the Blue Flame and the Banshees at the same time can be really frustrating. The Blue Flame upgrade does upgrade same amount of time as the Cloak, so it's not actually going to be finishing at the same time like SCC was doing earlier, but still, he's going to be able to follow up that early aggression with some more harassment. He's really just going to keep the pressure up on Nada, it looks like, in the early stages of the game.
Yeah, that looks like it too. Looks like he's also got the Marines here rallied because he wants to catch that Banshee here, Railku, and that might actually work out beautifully. Oh, but it looks like the Banshee's going to go slightly...
swing around, yeah.
Slightly different path, but still a very smart idea by Nada, and would catch a majority of players off guard, to be honest.
Yeah, it is going to be slightly dangerous, though, because now he's got, well, 6 Marines standing out in the center of the map instead of helping defend in his main base.
Well, he's got
he does have these turrets up, so his mineral line is fine, but Nada might be able to start going after the Marines since they don't have the stim. If he micros really well, he could take out quite a few, and then maybe start picking away at that tech lab. If he is actually able to get that tech lab and delay stim pack, that'll be huge. I've seen Terran vs. Terran's tilt on something like that before.
Or in,
oh, we flew right into the Marines in the center of the map.
Oh, scan!
Oh, and he scanned it. That Banshee did not see that coming. Wow, I thought that was actually not going to do anything. But that play there by Nada worked out really well for him.
Yeah, it definitely did. And we do have a third base finishing up now here for Ryung. He's going to take that expansion. He's got Hellions chasing down the Marines in the middle of the map. Oh, loses a Hellion. And the second Banshee coming in. We got actually targeted down by these Marines. Stim isn't done yet, remember. Nice control by Ryung, keeping a few of those Hellions alive. Now keep in mind, he is on Slayers, so he has a lot of Terran practice partners. So
yeah.
That would explain why this is looking very strong from him. Oh, here comes the Cloak Banshee.
With the Cloak Banshee. That stim pack is going to finish even if he starts picking away at the tech lab, but you can see he's actually going after more Marines. He's already killed a good number of the Marines so far. If he can continue to whittle that down, then it will really weaken Nada's forces here. Oh, nice shot from those Hellions on the low ground.
Yeah.
Where did the Banshee go? I
died.
thought the Banshee was able to slip away, but it actually died there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that shot from the Hellion on the low ground would allow the Banshee to actually get away, but not quite enough, sadly, for her.
Alrighty, so looking here, we've got Vikings are coming out here for Ryung. He's got a lot of Hellions, a lot of tanks, going straight into this mech.
Victories already. That's actually quite a few for this early.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. The last 2 games we've seen mech played here today is the barracks has been sniped both times. So it's going to delay it quite a bit. Nada is getting upgrades already. He's got +1 finishing up. But as we saw in the other games, again, the upgrades for Bio were really just so far ahead of the mech player. It was just disgusting. But given the fact that Ryung now has 3 bases, this is going to be very difficult for Nada.
Yeah, also the mecha players waited a really long time before they even started any of the vehicle weapons, which is really helpful when you got that many tanks.
Here
comes the drop. This is starting it already. This drop is actually going to catch him kind of off guard. That tank, sieging up way too far forward, getting taken out. He does not have a lot of tanks right now. Cannot afford to do that. Another one gets too far forward and goes down as well. Has to drop the point defense drone just to be able to hold off all these units, but he's already lost 2 tanks. I mean, for the number of bio that's not committed to that, getting 2 tanks is not bad.
Yeah, exactly. So, double gas being taken down here at the 3rd for Ryung, and Nada's command center has finished up as well. Getting a lot more barracks coming down, but he is down 20 supply. Up in the upgrades, thankfully. He's getting +1 armor coming as well.
Look at Ryung over here at just above the 3 o'clock. He actually made another barracks just to lift off and watch for drops over on that corner as well. So he's got a barracks down at 6 o'clock, one at 3 o'clock, watching both of these approach paths for drops. And he's not using them for Marines. He built that just to float up there. That's very interesting.
Yeah, nice thoughts there by Ryung. And it looks like he's actually going to be able to stop. If he's paying attention, he should be able to stop this command center landing. But he's looking somewhere else at the same time.
No.
No.
Wouldn't have been a very long delay because of the fact that, well, there was bio coming up here, which is now shooting the Hellion. So it would have been maybe 2 seconds, but still,
everything
can be
counts.
really annoying somewhere. You know, so you do that and they're like, oh, let me land, and then they start tilting. It's probably not going to happen with Nada, but
Well, there's another base coming up here for Ryung now, and interestingly enough, Nada does not have concussive shells. Well, he did just finish it just then, but he didn't have it for quite a while. And I'm surprised it took him that long to get it, because he could have caught quite a few more. Hellions coming in to the third base now. Oh my god, there is nothing here to defend. Stim those Marauders, Nada. You need to get them there right now. Trying to surround these Blue Flame Hellions. And actually lose as many as I thought.
Actually.
12 workers total killed.
Some of those were mules that went down, so they don't show up on the workers killed count. But I think he got maybe 3 if you include the mules there. I thought that was going to be a whole lot more damage, but since they split up like that, he wasn't able to get a good volley on and melts a lot of SCVs at the same time.
Yeah.
And if you see, Ryung's actually going for the turret range upgrade. Setting up turrets at his third base, really wants to make sure he does not get caught off guard by drops or banshees. It's a very cheap upgrade, and especially since he's not using the engineering bay for bio upgrades, he's not really losing anything by going for that. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, both these guys have sensor towers everywhere, so neither one can really move out without being seen. And oh my god, ooh, goodbye Medivac. I was worried he was going to lift up then for a second.
Yeah, you can see that he's actually getting the sensor tower from the low ground, is able to take it out. A little bit unfortunate placement there by Ryung. He will place it just slightly farther back this time, so that hopefully it will be out of range of Marauders from the low ground. But that was really good coverage, and that might allow Nada an opportunity to go for a drop or something. But he is actually going to get caught in the center by this huge army of Ryung. He's got a 30 supply advantage on him, and these Vikings are taking out the Medivacs. There's only 1 left. Nada has switched in attack production, but he's only got the 2, so if Ryung continues to force this, you can see him sieging up here, going to push in on the third base. Nada's going to have a hard time standing up to this army right now.
Yeah, definitely. You can't actually get out to get the flank that we've seen the other 2 players in this situation do as the player.
Oh, he gets drawn right into the tank line.
Yeah, that's not cool. That being said, level 2 vehicle weapons on the way now for Ryung. So they're actually going to be even on upgrades. This is not looking good for Nada at all. He's down 20 supply. He's completely contained here at the moment. There's also a Medivac over here for Ryung, sitting on 20 HP. He's also going into the main with his Hellions as well. Going to get quite a few SCVs here, actually. There's nothing being pulled back.
He's just hitting the refinery. Like, why isn't he going after the workers? Yeah, I mean, you're roasting the supply depots a little bit when you do that, but I mean, there's workers right there, Ryung.
Now look at this.
He has forced out to reposition. He's actually sieged his tanks up on the low ground. Okay, I guess that's why he doesn't really care too much. He's going to get that armory, and if he moves forward a little bit,
he's got a drop coming into the third base as well now. They're out of range of the siege tanks too. They're going to get quite a few SCVs.
Oh my god, the entire army of Nada moved up here to defend this. So now he's really far out of position. The Vikings fly up, and then the Barrack just go down immediately.
Well, Nada is having the opportunity to come around from behind now. So he might be able to make an advantage of this if he can, but it looks like there's just way too much stuff here for him. He's moving up into the natural now. Nada going for a counterattack by the looks of it.
Yeah, but he's moving right into sensor towers, so Ryung's aware of this. Now he's moving forward very aggressively. He's able to actually push far forward than he normally would be able to, because he knows that Nada's army is not even coming to defend. Looks like his air forces are going to come back, and he's going to withdraw some of the tanks while he leaves the rest to continue to break down the production buildings. That's very smart by Ryung. In the late game situations, taking out production against Terran is much more important than their economy, because they have mules. They can always recover their economy relatively quickly, but if you take out their barracks, then they're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, exactly. And Ryung is just completely in control of this game now here. He can corner out his forces up here. He's gotten all the production while he still has his own production at home. He's got SCVs there ready to repair.
The tanks of Nada just walked right into the tank line off Ryung there. Took them all out. The Marauders are swinging down and taking down a lot of these tanks. But the thing is, in a base grade situation, Nada just lost a large portion of his army and can't really reproduce anymore. So this is still really good for Ryung. His main base is safe at this point, and Nada's army is dwindling quite quickly.
Yeah, he has taken this extra base at the bottom left, getting a lot of barracks here though. But here comes Ryung going to
Troll just came. the command center at the natural of Nada just went down as well, and you can see if you look in his main, he's pretty much giving up the main, trying to rebuild his barracks down here at the bottom left. And he has to hold on, not losing the units.
He hasn't noticed that the tanks are actually undefended. There we go. He has lifted up into the medivacs.
His army just completely got wiped out in the center of the map. And the rest of them are coming into the natural to try and take out these tanks. He will get them, but again, he's taking heavy losses, something he can't be affording to do right now. He's only got a few units left. And Ryung's just really far ahead in supply right now, 80 supply up.
This looks like lights out for Nada now. He can't come out of his main. He's trying to rebuild his production down here at the bottom left, but it's just not enough time. He's down to half the supply of Ryung. Ryung played this quite well, to be honest. As he does, as always, everyone knows he does have something to prove. Always have something to prove being in the Slayer's house.
Especially when you're in Slayer's Terror in it. You know, you gotta perform.
And there's the GG from Nada. Nicely done by Ryung. So, that was definitely interesting. Nada got contained there where he really didn't want to, and it just snowballed from there. Nice keeping his head on his shoulders there by Ryung, didn't get ahead of himself.
I like that Ryung, he got that really nice advantage early with the Marauders, and he just never let go. He just kept on the pressure constantly for the rest of the game, and never even gave him a chance to try and recover. He's just always on top of him, pressuring him constantly, and you could see that Nada just couldn't figure out how to get back in the game.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to go into game 2. Stay with us.
Hi, my name is Haksu Kim. You're watching FXO television.
And welcome back, everyone. Game number 2 between Ryung and Nada up next. TVT, it is going to be a dual side. I am unstable, joined here by Railcoon. And Ryung currently up 1-0. This is interesting to me. Like, Ryung, he's always been there. He's always been a good player, but he keeps being overshadowed by his teammates. And always come one step too short of where he wants to go. So let's see if he can make something happen in the FXOpen Invitational Series. This is, of course, upper bracket round 1. So the very beginning, day 1 here as well. This will, of course, be our last match for today. But 8 more sets tomorrow, and we're going to be going all month long. So don't feel bad. We're going to be going straight into a rebroadcast after this, in case you came in halfway through. You can just keep watching and see the ones you missed. So, that being said, we have a gas first coming out here from Ryung. And that's going to be interesting.
Nada
He's scouting.
is not making a refinery, so it looks like he is going to be going up into a gasless expansion here on dual site. And we'll see which direction Ryung takes this. Recently, this is usually going to be an early blue flame build, but there is always the possibility of this refinery first. Excuse me, yeah, reactor first. How would you even do that? There's always a possibility that this could just be a really quick cloak rush. It's just not that common anymore, but it's just something you have to be aware of. But look at this, Nada once again scouting really early. A lot of players haven't really been scouting at all, but he sends this very early, catches the build. And he's going to be very aware of what's going on right now. Going to be aware of all the possibilities, and we'll see how he reacts.
He'll most likely throw down his command center anyway, but probably up in his main just in case and go for that double barracks follow-up. You see, pretty much to be the common response. We do have a factory down now as well. And Ryung's realized, like, he can either wait and lose his timing to actually go in there and do damage, or he can show the build to Nada and do the best he can anyway. And I do like the choice that if
I mean, he scouted the refinery first. He knew there was going to be a factory dropping.
Yeah.
There's not much reason to really delay that.
And there we go. As I was saying, we're going to have the command center in the main here for Nada just to be safe. But the thing is, are we going to see it go straight to a starport, or are we just going to sit here and see some more mech play coming in from Ryung? And it looks like mech play, because that's Tech Lab on the barracks. Going to finish pretty much in time with that factory as well.
Yeah, so probably just going to see the Blue Flame Hellions. He's actually going to get a Hellion out first, then probably switch it over. No, he is actually making a starport, so he might be switching this up a little bit.
Blue Flame Hellion
He's lifting the barracks off. Is it going to be Blue Flame, or is he going to switch over to a Banshee?
We'll find
out. What do you think? Call it quick, call it quick. Oh, he queued up another Hellion. Okay, it's going to be a Banshee.
That's interesting, though. Not normally do you see these tech labs sitting here idle for quite a while.
Well, I mean, it allows him to switch the barracks over. He's going to have to fly over eventually anyway, and he's now just working on Marines while it sits there. So, I mean, he's not really losing much. Maybe one of the Marines is going to come out a little bit slower, but since he got scouted, he's not really going to be expecting anything too crazy.
Yeah.
And Nada, like you said, has moved up to the 3 barracks. His command center is morphing into orbital command. Just by the very fact that he scouted this, is actually being very tentative. And the first Banshee is on the way. No cloak, because he didn't get that second refinery, so it's just going to be straight up Banshee harassment. Second one is about halfway done now. Or no, that's the first one. I'm derping.
Well, he's probably going to come in at the front at the same time he comes in from behind with those Banshees. He's going to try and test the multitasking skills of Nada, but you can't really win in that scenario if you're trying to out-multitask Nada. I'm sorry. But it just doesn't work. But look, Ryung's going to give it a go regardless. He's got his Hellions and his Marines at the bottom of the ramp. He's actually getting his own command center behind this as well. Here comes the Banshee. And he might actually use this to get vision and do a lot of damage to the Marines at the front. Especially with these Hellions, because he's going to have to clump up to come to the edge of the cliff to chase down the Hellion. Sorry, to chase down the Banshee.
Yeah.
And he's going into Blue Flame behind this. Look at, ooh, a bunker.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is that he switched to starport and is now working on the Blue Flame.
Oh, he's lifted up the...
Yeah, it looks like he might actually be able to take down the supply depot at this point. You can see that the Banshee's positioned very carefully to where if the Marines come forward to try and hit it, they're just going to get roasted by those Hellions.
Yeah.
So he takes out the first supply depot. Second one's going to take some fire. Looks like